This was Avery. Avery was our tuxedo, gray and white, looked like Tom from Tom and Jerry. Avery was 18 years old. He rode in on one of my customers' Jeep axles. He got to work and he heard a meow and he looked underneath it, and there's this cat just sitting on the axle of his Jeep. And we took him in, and he was the sweetest little kitten. Just absolutely loved to cuddle, purr, make biscuits, and happy cat, happy kitten. We took him in to get him fixed, and he came back different. He was super, super skittish and scared of everybody, including us. And he would get over us, but he'd kind of forget about us from time to time. And he'd hide for a while. He'd come out a little bit, and he'd hide, and he'd come out. Whenever anybody else came over, he would hide. And he'd have his little hidey spots. We have since found out that recently that vet doesn't like cats. And he has I suppose it's all scuttlebutt and rumor, but apparently he likes to abuse cats. So we were just thinking, well, maybe he didn't get enough oxygen while they were doing the surgery on him. It was just a simple neuter, But like I said, he was changed. But he was still, after he got used to you again, he would still be super cuddly, super sweet. But he definitely wasn't the same. And he was that way all his life. When we got Jinx, Jinx and him were the best of friends. Well, Jinx would torture him, beat him up, but then Jinx would also groom him and love on him. And, he's an orange cat, so he's weird. Aren't you, Jinx? There he is over there. Anyway. About 5 years ago or so, we noticed a little bump on him. It was kind of weird. It was round, and kind of like a skin tag, but it was round, and then it just had a little bit of skin holding it on, and it fell off. No big deal. Well, it came back, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it didn't seem to be hurting him, but we took him in, and the vet said, different vet this time, we were in Washington at that point. The vet said, well, it's tumor, it's a benign tumor, and, your cat's, 14, 15 years old. I just let it be, because the surgery would probably kill him, not to mention it'd cost like $3,000. So we let it be, and it grew, and it grew, and it grew. And he got to the point where he would lick it. Sometimes he would lick it enough that it would bleed, but other than that, it didn't bleed. He'd stop when it started to bleed. I guess he didn't like the taste of blood, but it never got any worse than that. But he went deaf, and we were thinking that maybe his vision wasn't that great, and he'd gotten to the point where he would hide in different places, and he either couldn't find the toilet or he didn't care about the toilet, and he'd pee on our dirty clothes. So he'd climb into the dirty clothes hamper and he'd pee in it. Not the worst thing in the world, but it still sucked. And then he got where he was starting to kind of lose control and peeing in his sleep or where he slept, or he'd start to pee and then he'd try to make it somewhere and couldn't make it. And then he just very recently here, he got where he would go out and he'd have about 2 bites of food, and that would be it. Because before he'd go out and he'd eat a little bit, and then later on he'd eat more, and then later on he'd eat more. Well, after he took those few bites, he wouldn't eat anymore during the day. And he was really, really losing weight. And he's 18 years old. He didn't seem like he was in excruciating pain like our other cat was. But we made the decision and we took him in. So I'm not doing anything to the golf cart. I just don't feel like it. So that's what we're doing. So hopefully he'll say hi to Ember and Spirit and Bo and Bella and Cricket while he's up there. So anyway, thanks for all the years, Avery. You were a good one.